I've been waiting a long time to do this video, but it's not been the right time yet. For people that don't know who I am and what I'm about, first of all, let me tell you who this video is for so that you know whether to stay tuned in or not. Don't want to waste anybody's time. You will be interested in this video if, like myself and many others, you recognise that the systems that are meant to represent us, the systems, institutions, clubs that are meant to have our best interests at heart, clearly don't. This video is for all of the police men and women in a corrupted system. I'll speak more about that in a moment. I'm not just going to make wild accusations without the evidence to support it. This is also a video for those that know, like the police force and the NHS under its grip hold of the pharmaceutical industry, and our military, which for the most part, if you're not aware of this, gets used for falsified reasons, we'll put it very lightly. I don't just mean Mr. Blair and the weapons of mass destruction. This has been going on for a very long time. I was in the military for over a decade, and I know this, having been in the military and conversed with individuals. It's actually what started opening up my eyes to how things really are in the world and in this country more specifically. This video is also for those that, like me and many others, feel absolutely disgusted and outraged that Matt Hancock is going on to live television. I'm going to tell you now why I'm telling you our government has gone rogue and my evidence to support that. And the police force is so deeply corrupted that even, and I've conversed with these individuals that are in the military, that are in the police force, that are in these positions that are meant to serve us, that want to serve us, want to be honourable, want to do a job that they signed up for, but can't because it's so deeply corrupted. And there are many of NHS nurses and doctors, and I know this because I converse with them weekly and have done for years now during this nightmare. And those individuals have also been trapped in a corrupted system, the NHS. For many of you, I'm not saying anything you don't already know. I'm not telling you anything that you haven't already figured out for many of you. I'm also speaking to you that got to miss out on saying goodbye to your mum and dad in their later years. I'm also speaking to you, the future, the children and teenagers that didn't get to say goodbye to your grandma and grandpa. For many, they spent their remainder of their years in suffering, scared for their lives, whilst families are being told they can't see their dying loved ones, and for what? I promise you when I get there I will keep my cool. I promise you. I am channeling all this energy, this anger at how those in positions that they've been entrusted, career politicians, sharks in suits, agents of Satan, demons, whatever, it's all this, describing the same thing, aren't we? We're describing the same thing. I'm not going to talk too much about that. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All those videos you'll have seen that are starting to crop back up now as people are starting to realise truly what's transpired, and you haven't realised the full entirety just yet. For many, they just believe this is a really, really big, unforgivable mistake. Of course it is, it's that, but it's so much more, I can assure you. And maybe you don't believe there is a much more sinister plan at play. Maybe you genuinely believe that, I'm not going to say certain names, we know who all the culprits are. The moment I mention their names, this video doesn't go viral anymore. It won't gather the momentum that I want it to gather. It won't start reaching the people I want it to reach. To ask you, in whatever way you can contribute towards this movement, do it now. If you are one of those that I've just spoke of, that's in the police force, and you're going and arresting petty criminals, you're going and knocking on the doors of people with opinions in a country of freedom and democracy, you aren't rounding up paedophiles, you aren't protecting the children, you aren't protecting our elders, you aren't even protecting the people that you're sworn to protect. You're protecting the establishment, you're protecting the government, and you're protecting corporations! How any of you in the police force can sleep at night if you are sitting right with that. If you are sitting right with that, you are sitting right with Satan. You are sitting right with darkness, evil, however you want to describe it. That's what you're sitting right with. And I'm calling you all out. I have zero fear of what I'm going up against. Zero. Okay, so if you're still with me, it's probably because you might be interested in how things are going to progress moving forward. So I'm going to cover that briefly. And of course, certainly over the next weeks and months, as things start to take shape, we'll be sharing updates all the while. So if it doesn't resonate with you, or you're reluctant because you think you've just been let down so many times by people claiming to be of the light and they're not, or whatever, just keep an eye on us. Suspend any disbelief for now. Be open-hearted and open-minded. And rather than boo-hoo us and do what many others have tried to call me in the past, a shill and all that kind of stuff, because maybe I represent the end of your old world. Maybe I represent the mirror that's showing you what truly the government is, and unfortunately that maybe that the world that you've seen through rose-tinted glasses isn't actually the true vision that you were seeing, and maybe I represent that. Whatever. I hope, it's my intentions that I represent unity, hope, justice, light versus dark, good versus evil. That's what my intentions are. So if I resonate with you and myself and my team, and you want to join us, I'm going to give you the details now so you can kind of, well, plan ahead. This is the video, the rallying call, if you like. I've been thinking about this video for a very long time. I'd probably say decades, to be honest. I've always felt there would be a time in my life where this was going to happen. I didn't know all the details, but I just knew I had a part to play in all this as someone who is going to be a leader of the light and truth. You might call me a fantasist, and I'd say you're right. I am a fantasist. I fantasize about the heroes and the Jedi Alliance, the Jedi Knights rising up against the Empire, and the Rebel Alliance, and all the little pockets of fractions of light up against the dark. I love that. It resonates with me, and I very much feel like that's the time I'm living in. So please don't try and take it away from me. You won't be able to anyway. My point being, this border for me, if we don't address it and sort it now, whatever problems we are facing now, whatever problems that we face in the near future and distant future, I believe will be heavily influenced by this immigration situation. I believe that it'd be used as a conduit, as a weapon against the people. That's what I actually believe, without going into too much details. But I think that's the priority now, so that's why we're acting that way. It was our priority initially. Burnley we're going to be running, then come January. January 13th is the date we penciled in. If the funds come in and the support comes in thick and fast, we'll move sooner, we'll move quicker. Simple as that. Time is of the essence, most certainly. And the 13th of January, which is still the date now, we want the website to go live. This will be then a place where you can put your interest in. There will be categories. Do you want to be a Peace Force officer? If you do, you will have to go through the training. We have got training ready. I have written the pamphlets and the training manuals from my time served in the military. And I was very fortunate to become what's called a PTI, a physical trainer instructor in the military. And you learn a lot of things. PSPO was called, arrest and restrain. It used to be called before that. But, you know, the military, especially ex-forces, are very well equipped mentally, physically, to go and take on these borders. So from January 13th, I would urge all of you that have already, many of you have already communicated to me that you're interested, and this will be your moment. The website, if it's going to be launched sooner than January 13th, I will announce it. But until then, as I've kept saying for months now, for all those that are interested in joining the Peace Force, please wait until then. Because by then we anticipate the funds will have arrived and we'll start the training. If the funds arrive sooner, we'll get the training started sooner. This Peace Force we will need, and we've already got hundreds, if not thousands now, I imagine, of men that are from the ex-forces that have been made redundant, unemployed, or that are veterans that have been left on the streets and such like. The invitation is open to everybody. Police force, if you're in the police force now, you want to hand in your notice because you believe in this vision, please, all are welcome. What we want is ex-forces, ex-police force, maybe bouncers now that are unemployed, people that are physically adept, men and women. But what I will say is we're not all inclusive. If you can't handle yourself and you want to be working on the border, then you won't pass the tests, the rigorous tests, to show that you have the mental and physical strength, literal physical strength. We're going to be apprehending and arresting people. We're not just going to be apprehending and arresting immigrants coming over to the border and then holding them. When we hold them, I anticipate gangs and such like are going to be turning up to try and claim what they believe is theirs. The immigrant, their prostitute, their whatever it is, you know, drug pusher, their employee that they've brought over. It's what we're going to be coming up against. So I need all the manpower. I need the alpha males. And we need to secure the border. If we don't secure the border, whatever it is we face in 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years is going to be much, 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 much worse. That's my belief. And if you share those same concerns, if you want to be involved, whether it is just you're contributing, imagine if 10,000 of us contribute £5 a month. That'd be more than enough. We don't need 67 million to go and secure the border. I'll prove that. I will prove that with the team that we've got. We will have men on the ground, the technology to secure the border. And if anyone tries to stop us, including that institution that serves the corporations in the police force, we will show them, and you in the process of leading there, that everything that we are doing is completely legal, and any challenge to stop us will be illegal. So then if we need to take that on, we will. And what I would like to see this then progress to is once the borders are secured and the manpower keeps coming in as we get more and more individuals that want to come and join the Peace Force to be in a role that's actually honourable, arresting real criminals and truly protecting the people of this nation, I think then, with the funds there and the infrastructure in place, we will start to see a massive, massive wave of individuals wanting to come and be a part of this. And then that's when we'll start moving it into communities. Set up a community centre, Peace Force base, get the honourable men of those communities and towns and cities trained up, get them the uniforms, get them the badge, get them on the oath. Anyone who breaks the oath once, gone. And that's the standard. Anyone in the Peace Force breaks their oath once, myself included, gone. And this is how we secure the nation first. Then everything else is going to be so much easier to do. That's my belief. That's why this has become the highest priority, because the more and more I hear of these stories of children being targeted in our communities and them filtering them out into the countryside and everything, the more and more I'm starting to see a real dark plan at play here. And we need to act now, not act when it becomes very obvious they've moved into all of our communities. And I can tell you, even within the honourable gangs and such like, and there are, I'm from Barrow, but I'm from Manchester really, and I know a lot of people in Manchester, and there's no honour amongst thieves anymore in the communities. Even there's no honour, there's no hierarchy, there's no respect for alpha males or anything like this, because we've got little rats running around with knives that will just stab you in the back. Even our top boys that might not have been, holy guys, let's just say, but kept things in order, they don't have much power and sway anymore, because the whole country has become so deeply corrupted. It's even lost its morals. There doesn't even seem to be an honour amongst thieves anymore. So hear me also saying to you guys in the communities, and I lived in Wythenshawe for a long time, and I know a lot of people in Wythenshawe, and I know how things work. It's now time for the communities of the old boys and such like to start getting together. And if you start getting together and get your own sort of peace force together, and you want to actually go and arrest proper criminals, corrupted politicians, people in parliament and offices in your towns and villages, and you know they're criminals, and you got the proof, and you can provide it, and then we bring together a common law court in your town, in your community, and then the people decide that person should be held accountable, and we go and arrest them. That's where this needs to go. It's the only way we bring justice. It's the only way we bring accountability. It's the only way we stop this rogue government and bring an end to the police force, which has also now become corrupted. It only serves the establishment, it only serves the government, and it now is completely acting against its own people. If you don't believe that, that's fine. That, so be it. And I hope you're right, and I hope I'm nuts. But I don't think I am. So, please contribute in any which way, shape that you can. If you can contribute £1 a month, and thousands of you do that, we'll be able to get the training up and running straight away. Again, I must stress, any accountancy firm that even wants to come in and check our books at any period in time, we will invite it so. Okay? Because I understand there are a lot of charlatans out there, and I understand there are a lot of people out there asking for money and donations for whatever, self-development and all kinds. I'm not making any judgment on those, but I understand people being a little bit cautious. What I'm saying to you is just please go on. If it doesn't resonate with you, then fine. But for those that it does, your energy is welcome. Please, even if it's £1 a month, your energy that you're contributing. I'm one of these people that believes in energy. I believe that when someone invests, even if it's £1 or £10 or £1,000, what they're actually doing is they're giving a piece of themselves energetically and entrusting into you and giving of their energy. That's what I need. I need the people behind this. The money will flow and come, but if the people aren't behind it, no matter how much money we have, it'll become irrelevant and won't work. It has to be the people behind it, and the money will flow. That's why I've put such a massive emphasis on saying Please, whatever little you can contribute, even if it's just sharing this video, so then maybe others can contribute that £1 or £2. And if we get thousands and thousands of us doing this, contributing those pounds that will be hardly missed by you into our Patreon, you will see where all of that money is getting spent, and I guarantee you I will not disappoint you. My team will not disappoint you, and we are just going to have to go and do this ourselves as a united nation, because Parliament, government, that centralised power is corrupted and not listening, and the police force doesn't serve us anymore. So that's it. Come January, if not sooner, hopefully. But come January, that website's going live. If you want to be a part of the Peace Force, you can offer your services, your expertise. We've got loads of ex-Peace Force, ex-CID. We've even got help from the red and blue camps. Told them no affiliations to red or blue. None of that affiliation to the old world being brought in. This is a new, uncorrupted, where peace officers will swear an oath to just God, the people, basically, just the people, God. That's it. No outside entity like a monarch, a king, any kind of system that can become corrupted like a government. And we must take back the power. And I am here saying to you, I'm sending out the rallying call to all those that want to represent their people, join us. And I am saying to you, as a man, aligned with God, with no fear in his heart, use me as a conduit. Use me as a conduit, and I swear to you, I will do everything that I can to protect our borders, unite our nation, and bring an end to our old corrupted government. And as always, please try and act within your heart, no fear, and only love.